Hey guys, welcome back to the GameStormers. So, we've finished our My First Game Jam entry. We've done a few devlogs on the way. It is time for us to do a post-mortem, check in how we went, have a bit of a conversation, and we're going to go through the game as well so you guys can see what we did. But not too much because we still want you to play it. We'd love you to try it out.
Tantalise you a bit, so.
Bit of tantalization. Okay, so how did we go? We got something in.
I think we did very, very well. With 2 weeks and, like, you know, my lack of programming prowess and first time trying to create a story, that was a very, very nerve-wracking thing.
Yeah.
When you programming a game from the ground up with nothing.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me was I've never worked in a team. Yes. When making a game, so I made something smaller before, but by myself though.
Yeah.
And I guess one of the things for me is I like doing everything myself. But that means that I'm really limited to what I can do. Because I'm not very skilled in a lot of things, but I'm skilled enough to get something small out. Yeah. You know, like Ricky Run Fast, that was really easy. Like, I couldn't do the graphics, so I made it all pixelated. It was just easy, I can get around things. But with this, like, we actually had the opportunity to get someone completely different than myself to write an entire story, and I couldn't have done that. Especially not in the time that was available. So it was really cool having two people doing that. I guess the thing for us as well, like, probably the challenges that we faced, we both work full-time, and we run the YouTube channel. So we've still got to edit stuff, we've still got to get stuff out, and we're working on this. So 2 weeks might seem like a bit of time, because I know that some of the other game jams go down to like 24 hours or 48 hours or 72 hours. We couldn't really do that right now, unless we were able to completely clear our schedule, actually take annual leave, and actually hunker down for 3 days, which would be awesome, and I really want to do that, and we will do that at one point.
Thanks for us.
Alright, so, the game.
Yep.
How close did we get to what we wanted, do you think?
I think we got extremely close.
Pretty close.
Yeah, there are a few things that we haven't implemented that we want to, but that's like a big ask. That's you know, weeks of refinement as well as, you know, having to write the whole story and all that sort of stuff. So.
And I guess, like, we'll have a chat at some point during the post-mortem of what we'd like to do with it moving forward. But I think it's a game. It works.
You can play it.
It does what we thought it would do for the most part.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, alright, so let's jump in, and I'll run through and play, and we can have a chat, and we'll sort of talk about things as they pop up, I guess.
Definitely. Alright,
so here's a little menu screen. Just threw this together really quickly. That's it. That's all it needs to be. I just wanted something. I wanted to, like, you know, give a nod to the game jam, have something there. I didn't want to just go straight into the game, especially when you didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, so I'd be thrust straight into it. What I like about that is that's more space than you're ever going to see in this whole entire game.
100%. That's it. That's
well done.
I hope you got tantalized by that, because now you're in the engine room and that's it. So, quick overview of the game. Basically, you've got multiple systems. You got shields, temperature control, which we didn't get to finish. So we haven't included that in any of the missions. Yeah. So it's kind of there so you can see roughly what it was going to be. And you've got the oxygen system here, which is probably the most completed of the game. Then you have the engine system, which I think actually ended up turning out really cool. Yeah. So one of the things I was able to do was have an ambient sort of thruster noise, and we'll turn it up now, hopefully you can hear it. So as you increase the thruster power, you get that sort of increase of sound, which is really cool. And it makes this a bit more visceral. You can sort of hear what's happening outside the ship because you're never going to get to see it. Yeah, exactly. Right. So now we need to disengage. So the way that this works is it'll play the sound. Once the sound's done, then the mission's completed. We can move on. Woo. Okay, so
Barnaby, the pilot.
So you can see the missions dropping down here. So there's two ways the missions work. You've either got missions that wait for a mission to be finished before you get the next one, or, and this is to create a bit of like a tense environment, you can have multiple missions stacking up at the same time. So at the start of the game, they're not going to do that for you, so that you can get enough chance to sit there. You'll get yelled at by the captain, but you get enough chance to sit there and sort of work out. Alright, he wants us to put up the engine power, so we can do that for him. There you go, buddy. Done. So now we have engines going, docking's disengaged, thrusters are good to go. But we are happy.
We're getting out of here.
Alright, so, do you want to run us through a little bit of the story?
Yeah, sure thing. So we've got, as you can see, you got Beatboat, who's our navigational bot. I've explained all this before in our first devlog that we released.
So we won't go into too much detail.
Yeah. So pretty much you're shipping across some containers from a mining facility over to a spaceport. So it's just it's a generic run. They just hired you as a courier to bring it over there. So that's all that's going on. Or is it? Dun, dun, dun. Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Well, we don't know.
Yeah, well, you won't find out.
We know.
Yeah, well, if I didn't know, that'd be a real problem.
You probably know. So as you can see, we've taken off, we're flying, and it gives us a chance for the characters to sort of... Oh, we forgot to change that. That's alright. Gives us a chance for the characters to sort of introduce themselves and sort of give us a bit of a preface on what they're doing, which is kind of cool. So once all that's completed, then we'll move on into a few more missions.
Yeah, so it's like that's another challenge. So world building while giving engaging gameplay. Like you want the crew to be describing what's happening around you, not in too much detail that you're like reading a book, because that's sort of like that's how I went about creating the world. So I've written like almost like a novel sort of thing, and then whittled it down to make it an immersive experience for a player rather than just reading through walls of text. Although that does happen a little bit later on, unfortunately. So,
although we have gone through and refined some of this, just not for this recording.
Yep.
So we've just had a blackout. We need to redirect the shields to the front. So all the missions come up on the bottom left. Most of the time the characters will sort of reinforce what needs to happen, but the good thing is, like, as you get further into the game, I think the idea is for the characters not to do that as much.
Yeah.
So they'll say something and then it'll go away, and if you weren't paying attention, you've got to check the mission. Which is good because it really adds to that, fuck, what am I doing? What am I doing?
You've been assailed by a pirate called one of the Tetra Flotilla. So, they've just disabled your craft at the moment.
And so you can see, as some of the comms are going through, so Beatboat's just fixed one of the infiltration issues, so the power's back on. We also had a line there where there was a collision with the ship, and so the screen shook and you hear some noise, so that all comes through, and then we truncate the text that does it. So you can see there's other ones here for failure conditions, and they haven't been implemented in the game, so we didn't get to finish that.
Yeah.
So basically the idea is that as it gets on, you can't just ignore these missions anymore. If something happens, like what I'm doing right now, talking to you and not fixing this, after 10 seconds, they're going to take a hit, and there is going to be a persistent sort of hull damage, and once that gets down, you lose.
Yeah.
So that's really the aim of this game. So you could die by oxygen running out, you could die by temperature overheating, you could die by the shield not being set up correctly, and you taking a hit because you're open to attack, or open to asteroid fields, or open to whatever environmental effect happens. And you could die by not setting these things up correctly to evade attacks.
Yeah.
So as you get through the game, you can see that the tenseness isn't quite there yet because we haven't implemented those, more for a testing sort of thing. So we need to... Oh no, we don't need to touch the shields. Got to read the bloody missions. What are we up to? Yes, we do. We need to set the shields to rear. So we'll drop this guy down. There we go. And then we'll pop this guy up.
So now you've got butt shields to make sure you don't get
see
shot.
Visually, you'll see what's going on there, which is kind of cool. Cool. And the characters will take over, and the idea is that we don't actually get to see what's happening, and we only get to do what they tell us to do. And now all this like interesting stuff's happening, but we're not really involved in it. Like, oh shit, they're taking hits. What's happening? Oh, no damage. Good thing. Good thing. Oh, Jesus, feels really tense. But we don't get to do anything. The other thing we didn't get to implement is alternate tunes. So we've got one song playing and there's another song that overlays it. I will hit the key to make it happen. There you go. So now we've got the tense music playing, so that's meant to kick in when stuff gets really bad, which is kind of what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And then as we get out of it, you can actually fade it back to the non-tense version of the song, which is really cool. So we have two overlaying tracks. So we'll wait until good things happen, but good things aren't going to happen for a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit full on for a minute.
Oh, so we're losing oxygen. Here we go, I wanted to show you this. So, oxygen system, we're losing because we have a damaged sector. Now we have to find which of these sectors, ooh, lucky, is damaged.
Yeah. Repair it,
fixed, good to go. Now if we lost too much, we would have to use oxygen reserves to really bolster the oxygen. But we didn't lose too much, we're okay. Oh crap, now we're gonna do shields. It's all happening.
What's going on?
So the asteroids are clear out of the debris field, but now we've got a guy right up our bum, and we've got to put our shields up to protect ourselves.
Yep.
There we go.
Well, we're heading straight, like headlong into an asteroid though, so as you can tell, Barnaby's not too happy about flying everyone straight into an asteroid.
He is not on board.
Beatboat's got a solution though. Since Beatboat used to be a medical bot and they left some of that programming in, he's prone to suggesting healthcare plans should the need arise.
That's right. Okay, so that was the game. Not bad. Like, it works.
I'm pretty happy with it.
It does what it's meant to do.
I'm very happy with it, actually.
And that was really the main thing. I feel like we were successful based on the fact that we started something. We actually had a clear idea pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I'm really proud of, the fact that we came up with something so fast. And we were able to do it. We made it. So, I mean, overall, a success. I think we probably could have, like, if we're reflecting back on ourselves, we probably could have spent a bit more time on a few things. We probably could have tightened up a few things. And the gameplay is sort of a bit, I guess, weak at the moment, but that's because the tenseness hasn't really been built into the code yet. Like, you're not being forced to do things because you're going to lose. Like, right now, you can't lose the game.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really play the way that it's going to play. But I guess if you do try it out, and we encourage you to try it out, just imagine that those events are win or lose. Because that really does improve the gameplay, and when the game's fully finished, and we are going to keep working on it, that will be the case.
Yeah, right, yeah, absolutely.
So there's probably going to be, you'll probably get through this and die quite a few times before you actually finish the story.
Yeah.
Where do you want to see this game go? Because we're going to keep working on it.
Definitely. Well, there's quite a few things that I reckon we can implement into it. So we were talking about persistent damage on the ship. So
yes.
Like you were saying, there's going to be some sort of hull, chart saying how much hull integrity you've got left. And you're going to be like stopping into ports and stuff like that. That'll get replenished. You'll get money from completing jobs that you've been doing, and you'll use that to repair and stock up on oxygen tanks and coolant and all that sort of jazz.
Actually, that gives me an idea. It would be cool if they stop in, they get money, they give you a engineering allowance. I want to make it feel like you're like, oh yeah, I get an engineering allowance.
Here's a penny.
And using that allowance, maybe you could make the oxygen sector detector faster. Or you could make the way the shields transition quicker, or the thrusters engage quicker.
That'd be cool.
And so it makes your ability to complete the missions easier. But as the game progresses, everything gets harder and faster, so you might have 6 things to do, but you can do it quicker.
Yeah.
And so the way you choose to distribute your money could be another element to how the game plays, and there'd be a correct way, or at least a way that makes it easier for you to play.
Yeah, exactly.
That could be kind of cool.
Yeah. Like you could sort of like whatever your weak spot is, if you've always found yourself dying on oxygen, slow elite times, or like I said,
yeah,
faster
that's
scanning.
true. That's a good idea as well. Like slow down the negative effects.
Yeah.
Or you can like imbue the hull, for example, so that it takes less damage. There's a lot of cool little things we can do.
That'd be amazing.
It's weird actually because I felt like for a second like, oh, we're reviewing a game, but it's actually our game.
Okay.
That's really cool. So those are some cool things, and we can look at doing that. Like we've got the power to do that.
Definitely.
All we need is time.
Yeah.
But the gas has definitely turned off a little bit because I don't want to go to bed at 2 a.m. anymore.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a time crunch.
That was pretty full on.
Yeah.
So another one that we were talking about would be to create emergent storylines. Now that would be very difficult for us at our level of programming and story writing and all that sort of stuff because it's a pretty big ask. But it would be very cool if, based on your actions as the engineer, the storyline could change. And so basically something will happen, you'll maybe choose to do something for Barnaby instead of the Cap. That could initiate something, and then all of a sudden you're following down a divergent or storyline, and different things happen.
At like completely different end
Which
of
would
game.
be really cool.
It would be absolutely amazing.
And I think we could do it. It's going to take a bit of time. We'll have to rework a few things, but there's no reason why we couldn't do it. And I think that'd be, for me, that'd be like, that's at the top of the list.
Yeah.
But just talking about that buying stuff and things like that, it's the first time we've actually mentioned that.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's a really cool thing that we can do right now and have a bit of an intermission between the missions.
Yeah.
So you got bang, 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 lots of stuff is happening. You could even go to the store while some of the communications is happening, perhaps. So that
That'd be cool.
Even when there's a lot of downtime and you're learning more about the characters, you still get to actually do something.
Yeah.
And when the conversation's finished, because you're not the one in control, so as soon as they finish talking, you're like, I'm not finished with the shop, we gotta go, man. So which could be cool, because it really adds to, like, we want the player to feel like they're important because they're keeping the crew alive, but they're not important because the crew doesn't really acknowledge or talk to them that much.
Yeah.
And I think we've actually got, like, the storyline has a pretty good balance of that. Like, they don't really seem to care about you all that much, but they also need you to get shit done.
Yeah, exactly right. They don't forget about you. They don't really sort of value you. You're just the guy who does the thing that they need to do.
Yeah, and then they're just frustrated when the thing isn't done.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Seriously, clamps, just do it.
Just get it
I
done,
could
man.
do it, but I'm not going to. So you are.
That's right. I could come there and do it. I'm fucking engineer.
Yeah.
But you're there, man, so you might as well do it.
Exactly right.
It's awesome. So, overall, pretty happy.
Very happy.
I really have got bitten by the bug now, and I want to do more of these things.
Definitely, man.
And actually, I think, just to wrap up, we really want to thank just the whole community. We were able to create an indie dev community of our own based off of this. We now have a Discord, which we'll put a link into the description. We would love you to join us if you're making a game, if you're into game jams, if you're starting out. We've even got people that have sort of jumped on and they've agreed to help out as mentors. So you have people that are sort of a bit more experienced in the programming field, more experienced than we are, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we could ask them questions and you can ask them questions and they'll be able to help you out, which is awesome.
It is.
So I definitely think if you're into that, come join us. Join us. You can chat to us live on Discord and meet us and meet everyone else on there. And there's some really cool people in there already. And if you want, you can showcase your work. And the end goal could be, 1, you get a game fully complete because everyone helps you, or 2, chuck it up on Showcase and we might feature it on the show as well, which is really cool. So get the chance to, I guess, get the game out there. We'll play it. We'll give you our thoughts and show it up on the screen.
I just want to say a big shout out to the indie dev community as well for being so generous and willing to give.
Yeah.
Like, you know, H2, it was Poke actually was. Poke, yeah, well, so that's easier. Like, you know, we just said, can someone help with some art? And then, you know, they were just like, I can help.
Yeah.
Here's some sketches. I'll just do it right now.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Same with Macadium. He made some, like, 2 awesome sounding musical pieces for our game.
Yeah.
No skin off it. Like, you know, he didn't get anything from it just to help. And it helped out so much. Like, it made our game so much better than what it was. And just out of the generosity of...
imagine, you know? The game without both of those elements.
Nothing. It'd just be a screen, you know?
Yeah, like, you would lose a lot of its soul already.
Absolutely.
No, it's amazing. And the cool thing is, both of those people have joined our Discord community and they've signed on to be mentors as well. So you can actually benefit from their help as well, or at least ask them advice, which is really cool. So this is great. This is awesome. I really want to do more of these. I think the ultimate goal would be to do the Global Game Jam, which we just missed, just happened. But we need to book in some leave. It's going to happen. I think it might happen at the end of this year, maybe, or maybe even next year if it has to.
Yeah.
But we'll both try and get there. It's a 48-hour challenge.
Oh my god.
International with a set theme. Isn't that interesting?
I can't.
I don't even know if we can make a game in 2 days, but we can give it a shot. That's the ultimate goal.
Very good,
though.
but hey, let's give it a shot, right?
Yeah. All right, guys, we're rambling now. We're getting excited. So. Yep. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time on the GameStormers here.
Yep.
We might catch you later tonight on the Discord. But thank you very much for tuning in and we appreciate your time.
See you guys.
Bye. What I'm going to do, now it's had a taste for blood. I'm like, oh, you want more, big boy?
You could have taken him right then.
Nope.
What are you doing?
Hard way. Come on. Oh, stop that nonsense. Stop it! All right.